So, is the Dagestani era over? So, this question has been roaming around throughout the social media and YouTube. Analysts have been making videos on this topic saying that Dagestani era is over. Yeah, we have seen Dagestani rise, the dominant Dagestani era in the last few years since Khabib Khabib started dominating, and it started with Khabib, and it still continues. When Khabib retired, everyone thought that Dagestani era is over. Islam is not going to able to achieve what Khabib achieved. So no one took Islam seriously, but Islam proved that he is not only a deserving candidate for the GOAT title, he can be you can arguably place Islam over Khabib. What Islam did throughout in these years after the retirement of Khabib. So yeah, we know that we have seen comparatively a worst year for Dagestani fighters. Islam Makachev didn't lose. He just vacated his title and moved one weight up. We saw Dagestani fighter, witnessing defeat. One is Ankalaev, one is Umar Nurmagomedov, and one is Shara Bullet. And I'm going to talk about those defeats, and I'm going to explain my thought: is Dagestani era is coming to an end or not? So let me first discuss the Shara Bullet issue. Shara is a kickboxer. He didn't have any grappling background. He didn't have any wrestling background. He came to UFC from a kickboxing background and dominated and made to look every fighter he fought a novice. And he just witnessed and faced a defeat against Michael Venom Page. Are you serious? The freaking Michael Venom Page, who is one of the most interesting striker of all time. I knew that he was going to lose against Michael Venom Page because Michael Venom Page is one of the most interesting fighter, most interesting unconventional striker, and it is very difficult to defeat the style of Michael Venom Page. So Shara lost, and he came back. He came back stronger on the next two fight. He dominated his next two fight with exceptional fashion. He again showed that he have everything required to become a champion, and he proved himself. There is no doubt about it. But I still think to become a champion in UFC, he need to improve his wrestling game, and I do think Shara has plenty of time. He can improve his wrestling ground game, and if he does that, it is going to be nearly impossible to defeat Shara. By the way, he's doing all of this with just one eye. He doesn't have vision of his both eyes. We know the people who trains MMA, trains martial artists, we know that how difficult it is to fight, to spar, to compete with just one eye. Just one eye. It is nearly impossible. You have like 50% of your vision taken away from you, and you are not seeing a lots of strikes that is coming towards you, and it is amazing how he is surviving and keep defeating fighters with 100% vision. It is really amazing. Now we have witnessed Ankalaev losing in this year. Ankalaev is one of the best was one of the best middleweight, light heavyweight prospect of all time. He defeated Alex Pereira, who is arguably one of the best light heavyweight champion of all time. So we can also say that, yeah, Ankalaev is also great because he defeated Alex Pereira. Ankalaev beat Alex Pereira for 25 minutes in his first fight, and in the last fight, when they fought each other, Ankalaev succumbed to a knockout. Alex knocked Ankalaev out in their first round, not knockout, a TKO, takedown KO. He couldn't, by the way, knock Ankalaev out fully. And we know that Ankalaev had a rib injury. He had a fractured rib, but he is so proud, so humble, and he didn't want people to say that he is fleeing from or fearing Alex Pereira, so he decided to take that fight. If I was there, I would never do that. I would recommend him not to do that, but he's a very good man and he's a very good fighter. So you guys all have already seen the great last emperor Fedor Emelianenko making statements about Ankalaev, saying that Ankalaev would be champion again. I believe so, and I also agree with that statement, because if you look at the current light heavyweight ranking, Alex is the champion. Now number 2 we have Jiri Prohaska, who lost to Alex 3 times. He was given Jiri Prohaska. I think he is one of the most privileged fighter in the UFC. He is a interesting fighter, no doubt about that, but he is never championship caliber fighter. He lost to Alex Pereira three times, and now they're again having a discussion of giving Jiri Prohaska another chance to fight Alex. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you give someone the opportunity for 4th time when he couldn't prove himself as a right candidate, deserving title shot candidate for the last 3 times that he was awarded a championship match? Ankalaev, on the other hand, defeated Alex Pereira once. They're now 1-1. They're now equal, and you are not giving Ankalaev a second chance, just as Ankalaev gave Alex a second chance, and this is very wrong. So what you want to do? Carlos Ulberg, he recently had a win. I don't think he stand a chance against Ankalaev. Jiri Prohaska, though he is an interesting fighter, he doesn't have any chance against Ankalaev. Jan Blachowicz, we know that Jan already, we saw the fight between Ankalaev and Jan. We can run it back because the fight was so close, and Jan is definitely one of the best fighter, one of the best, what it's called, middleweight champion. Khalil Roundtree, we have seen Khalil Roundtree was lost against Jiri Prohaska, so he is out of the championship title discussion. Jamahal Hill, no way. Alexander Rakic, he was also lost against Ankalaev, so it doesn't make any sense. Then Reyes and Volkan, they are out of discussion. So we have Jan, we have Carlos Ulberg, and we have Jiri Prohaska. Jiri Prohaska can fight against Ankalaev, and Ankalaev will win. I can guarantee you that. Carlos Ulberg can fight Ankalaev, and Ankalaev going to win, and I can guarantee you that. Jan, on the other hand, I think that fight is going to be very competitive. I think if Jan fights Alex Pereira right now, that fight also going to be very competitive for Alex as well. But by the talk, or by the speech of Alex Pereira, it seems like he is planning to retire. He probably will fight once or twice in UFC, then he will retire and he will move to boxing. This is what he is saying. He wants a money fight. He wants a fight against John Bones. I don't know if UFC is going to give him that. If he gets that, that's great. And if he gets that, he's going to retire after that. So we have Jan Balovic. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name correctly. We have Jan, we have Jiri, we have Carlos, and they can fight Ankalaev. And I can. Jan already lost to Ankalaev, and I think Ankalaev has everything, every skill, wrestling, striking, to defeat Jan, Carlos, and Jiri Prohaska. And after Ankalaev defeats all of them, all three deserving candidate, he is going to become a champion. If Alex Pereira decides to retire, Ankalaev is going to be champion. If Alex Pereira decides to fight with Ankalaev again, which by the sound of his teammates seems like it is not going to happen, because Alex knows that he is not going to defeat Ankalaev if they fought for third time. So I really doubt if it is going to happen or not. But if it happens, Ankalaev wins, and Ankalaev is going to become champion once again. And Ankalaev needed this loss. Ankalaev needed this loss to reinvent himself. He needs to think a bit more and make intelligent decision when picking fight. And this is going to bring a new Ankalaev that we have never seen before. And Ankalaev is going to, we know that Ankalaev lost and how Ankalaev previously lost once, and how he overcame that loss, and how he became one of the best fighter of light heavyweight division, and how he, and after that loss we witnessed his rise to UFC and becoming a candidate for UFC heavyweight, I mean light heavyweight title. So this loss is going to make him a great champion. He is going to clear out the division. He is going to defeat Alex Pereira for their third rematch, and he is going to cement himself as one of the best lightweight fighter of all time. Yeah, and I do think if he fights with John Bones, he has all the skills to defeat John Bones as well. So Dagestani era is not over. Light heavyweight championship is going to be dominated and taken over by another Dagestani Ankalaev. There is no doubt about it. And you can save this video, and you can tell me later on that if I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. So then there is lightweight right now. So we know that current lightweight number 1 is Islam Makhachev, and the champion is Ila Topuria, and Islam Makhachev have moved to welterweight, and he's going to fight Jack Della Maddalena. And we can make another video. I'm not going to get into the whole discussion, fight analytics and stuff like that. Islam Makhachev is going to defeat Jack Della Maddalena with spectacular fashion. He is going to make Jack Della look like a novice. This fight is going to be same as Khamzat versus Dricus du Plessis fight, but with more striking. Islam going to dominate in standing and wrestling in both category, and he is going to become welterweight champion, and he is going to become one of the greatest welterweight champion of all time. And I do think after becoming welterweight champion, maybe Islam going to fight one or twice more. I think he needs to fight Ilia Topuria, and I don't think he is going to go down to a lightweight again. Ilia Topuria probably will move up to welterweight, and fight Islam. And Islam, after Islam defeats Ilia Tapuria, he is going to retire. And we're going to have another great welterweight Dagestani fighter. Middleweight already dominated by Hamzat Chimaev. Though he is not from Dagestan, he belongs to the same region. Hamzat Chimaev going to be one of the best middleweight fighter of the all time. There is no one, literally no one in the whole division that pose any level of threat to what Hamzat Chimaev have right now, or towards Hamzat Chimaev. Kamzachima will going to smash, dismantle everyone. Drikas, Nasiruddin Imanov, who he already defeated, Sean, Renard De Reader, who got defeated, Israel Adesanya, no way, Anthony Siao Borhalo, no way. These guys have already, I mean, we all know that they don't stand any chance against Kamzat Chimaev. So probably he is going to move up after fighting once or twice more in the middleweight, and he want to fight Alex Pereira. I don't know what is going to happen. Let's see. But yeah, Kamzat Chimaev is going to remain as champion. There is no one in that division that will defeat Kamzat Chimaev. Then we have featherweight division, where Alexander Volkanovski is the current champion. So there is already a fight scheduled between Movsar and Diego Lopez for the second time, and Movsar is going to defeat Diego Lopez. I like Diego Lopez, but he doesn't have the skills required to defeat Movsar. He is a machine. He is one of the most strongest guys in the whole UFC. He can break nuts, walnuts with his fingers. He's crazy strong. And Movsar is going to defeat Diego, and then Movsar is going to defeat Alexander, and he is going to be the featherweight champion. So we have 3 Dagestani champion, 1 Caucasian Chechen champion. Yeah. Then at bantamweight, currently Merab Davashvili is the champion. There is no way, no fighter in that division that can defeat Merab except for Umar. Umar already lost to Merab, but if you assess all the fights that Merab had, Umar had the best fights and best techniques against Merab. Umar showed that he is better striker than Merab, and I think Umar have learned from his mistake. He's still a very young guy. He will develop himself. He is going to defeat Merab in their rematch, and we will see the rematch between Umar and Merab probably in the next year. Merab is going to defeat Peter Yan, obviously. Umar might have to fight 1 or 2 more guys, and he is going to cement himself. Merab can run from Umar. Umar is going to defeat Merab at the end, and after Umar defeats Merab, probably Merab is going to retire, and Umar will have another Dagestani fighter, Dagestani champion in bantamweight. Flyweight, I don't know. There is no Dagestani prospect we see in the flyweight division except for Tagir Ulanbekov. He might or might not be, and Asu Almabayev, who is right now is 9th ranking. I am familiar with Tagir, but I don't think he's going to be champion. I'm not familiar with Asu, so I don't know. I can't say anything about this. So now we have lightweight division, where Ila Topuria is right now is the champion. Arman Arman Sakurian is going to be the champion. if Ila fights with Arman, I think Arman has the skills to defeat Ilya. Um, and if he defeats Ilya, he is going to be champion. Though Arman is not from Dagestan, he is from that region, and yeah, there is no one I think right now have in UFC, Dagestani fighter in UFC that can become lightweight champion right now. But Usman, who's in Bellator right now, he probably will fight once or twice in Bellator, and then he will come to lightweight division in UFC. UFC is going to send him a contract within next year. We'll see this within next year, and after he joins UFC, he is undoubtedly going to become the lightweight champion. So within the next year, 2016, 2027, we will see Ankalaev becoming light heavyweight champion, Hamzat Chimaev becoming the remaining the middleweight champion, Islam Makhachev remaining the middleweight champion, Usman Nurmagomedov joining in the UFC, becoming a middleweight candidate and fight for the title and eventually become the champion. We'll see Movzar become featherweight champion. We'll see Umar become bantamweight champion, and yeah, flyweight I'm not sure, and heavyweight I'm not sure. I don't think there is anyone. Probably Ankalaev can move to heavyweight, but heavyweight is too risky is going to be too risky for him. So except for heavyweight and except for flyweight, we will see all the division is getting dominated by Dagestani fighters. Dagestani fighters is going to be champion in all other division. So the people who are laughing right now, you should try. You should contemplate for what you are celebrating, because these losers, these defeats are going to become the catalyst for the Dagestani rise dominance. Umar is learning from his mistakes, and he is going to be one of the best champion. Ankalaev will learn from this mistake and going to be one of the best champion, and they are not going to make the same mistakes again. We don't see Dagestanis making the same mistakes again, and this is what makes them very dangerous fighter. And we are going to see the Dagestani dominance like never before. UFC is going to be taken over by Dagestani fighters within next 2 years. So I don't think Dagestani era is over, or Dagestani era has ended. Dagestani era have just now begun. It is the second version of Dagestani era. It is the second coming of the Dagestani era, and we are going to witness it in the next 2 years.